Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
We made it.
The gang's all here. Yay. So, now I feel like it's official. I have to talk about the podcast since we're recording. We got a countdown and everything. Where did we start? 52? 51? We stopped at 51?
Yes.
Yes, which one?
We stopped at 51.
Started reading at 52 this time.
Oh, so we included 51 in the last one.
Yeah, this time, a lot happened, but it also felt like just so much of like getting to the next part. Like we're almost close to the action, but like not a lot. We learned a lot.
This is the part where he talks about in interviews where it was getting kind of stale, so we had to shake things up. So,
Yeah, I get that.
yeah, reading it, I'm like, sure, it's cool, and like I was telling Allie, like you can have all that free zone fucking passing votes and shit. I mean, full disclosure, I skimmed through most of that nonsense because it was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I get it needs to be done, but like I said, I don't need to be the one reading about it. You can just tell me that like somebody over there took care of it while we were, in Harold's basement doing something.
Right, like
else.
it's not historical or anything.
Yeah, right. You don't have to be like historically accurate or there's nobody going, hey, that's not the way that happened. What?
I said, or even informative. Like you're not writing a how to survive the apocalypse.
No. And if I am, I'm not putting Glenn on the committee because he's not optimistic.
I'm sure he's not the first sociologist. Oh, darn, hold on. First sociologist who hasn't been like.
I like what he. I was thinking about it. Wasn't it Glenn who was like when they were doing the shootout when they got Dana and them, and he was just kind of standing there the whole time, and he says like, "We love as a sociologist, I love talking about it, but when it comes to action, it's not very good at that part."
It reminds me of a philosopher, honestly.
Mel Brooks would call a philosopher a bullshit artist. That was one of the movies we gotta watch. History World Part 1.
Like, I mean, Con Man is...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just say Con Man is confidence, man. So that
hey,
makes sense to me.
What is the opposite of progress? I can hear an echo from somebody else.
My cancellation is on.
Mine's on too. Oh well, we're just gonna roll it. I'm hoping it doesn't make it into the recording.
I don't hear an echo.
Okay, it's just me. Like I don't hear you guys. I just hear me. Like now, I don't hear anything. I feel like I might have to find a third option before our next recording. We'll see. Anyway, what the hell's happening in 52? It doesn't seem like a whole lot. Oh, wait. 51 is more free zone shit. So 52, our resident figurehead decides she's had enough and she gets the hell out of Dodge. Which she's kind of crazy, right? Objectively, like, right. So God told you to go hang out in the woods. You're 108. Like, what the hell are you doing?
It's so funny because the first time I read this story, I really wholeheartedly was like, wow, why is Stephen King so religious in this book when he's not in the others? And then it dawned on me, I think it was last time or the time before, Allie, when you were like, well, that's what Mother Abigail thinks. That doesn't mean that's what at all is what's happening. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. It's probably not at all what's happening. And so all of her like religious reasonings from here on out, I'm like, yeah, whatever, do whatever. You're crazy anyway. So like, it doesn't matter that much to me.
But they all dreamed about her. So like, she can't be 100% wrong, right?
Well, that doesn't mean it's God. It just means...
Well, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying, but there's something there, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's not a coincidence.
Like who's forced to flag?
Say again?
Just some opposing force to flag.
Right. If it's not God, what is it? I'm not, and I don't mean that like
white.
I just mean, isn't that fancy for I don't know, God?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I have no idea. I think we call that agnostic.
My other thought too was the first time I read this, I was like, because they have the dreams and because Mother Abigail seems like their savior, I was really like thrown off and upset when she left. I was like, hold on, you called them all here. Now we need your guidance. Where are you going? You can't leave. Like, we need your help. This time, though, I guess it's different knowing what happens, but this time I was just like, all right, cool, see ya. Like, we are better off without you, because like they said, it would just be, you would be like a religious figurehead. I mean, they wouldn't be able to do anything.
did feels chicken shit. Like, she didn't want to deal with it. Like, she got them all here. Like, oh crap, all these people are here to see me. Fuck that, I'm out of here. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, I don't really understand. What was her reason again for leaving? Because she was prideful?
She was like taking credit for God's work. I don't know what credit that was exactly. Getting everybody to come to Boulder, I guess, because she was comparing herself to Moses, who wasn't the one that drew water from the rock. It was God. So what did she think she did that God did for her? I'm not quite sure of that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a...
And the whole thing, in the end, it doesn't matter because we all know it's the hero's journey, so she has to leave.
Right, exactly.
And that, that's the long story short part of that. But who's the hero? Now that I just said that, like, usually when the figurehead leaves, it's because someone has to do it by themselves. So we got what, 7 someones?
It is strange when they all have conversations. I have, like, I know that they're different, but like Stu and Nick and Larry especially, I think of as almost the same person, but like from different parts.
Right, like 5 different personalities of the same.
Yeah. And so like when they talk to each other, I'm like, whoa, right, you're not the same person. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of Larry and Stu. I don't know if we have any Larry and Stu other than that initial, where's Harold? I've been following him since Maine. And then when Stu and Larry and Frannie, I can't even say it. That was kind of neat to see. I don't feel like I've seen the characters interact with each other outside of their little normal circles the whole. Like, I'm not a big Frannie fan, but I like seeing her and Larry hang out. I'm a Larry fan. He picked Lucy.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I mean too. Is like Larry, maybe they're all like brothers or cousins to me. Like they're all family. So it's like, yeah, of course Larry and Fran would get along because Stu and Larry are kind of similar. Although Stu's better, whatever.
Well, they all would and have made the same decisions, so they're kind of the same kind of. They wouldn't do the things, say Harold or maybe Trash Can Man would do. I don't know if anybody would do the things Trash Can Man would do.
Well, I mean, he's still not nearly as bad as what's his name? God, Pokey's.
Lloyd.
Lloyd, yeah.
Are you hating on Lloyd? What the hell? You keep doing it.
I will always hate on Lloyd.
Oh, Lloyd. Yeah. He's running the show down there.
Down there.
I think of it that way. I don't know if that's technically true, but that's the way it is in my head. Like, they're up in the mountains and they're like down in the desert in Las Vegas.
I did like that somebody else commented on, I don't remember when exactly it was, although I think I did write it down. Somebody else was like, yeah, they're having the same thought I had, where I was like, that's not quite far enough away.
Yeah, who was that? It was like the West. Well, we're in the West. What are you talking about?
That was right at the beginning, because it was right as I started reading. I said, other people recognize Colorado is not that far east. Oh, and my next note, guess who's back? I had to try so hard not to say anything when we were talking about him, but Kojak is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I thought he came back, but I wasn't sure. But yeah.
Oh, I was sure because I remember his story about surviving the wolves. Oh wait. Have we read that yet? No,
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. That's like the first thing we do is like we think about Kojak.
Because he came
about his journey.
Says how he was like he remembered wolves and all that, and just I was so glad that there was, because obviously there's a confrontation coming, and I love how Stephen King already says like Kojak outlives Glenn and has a nice long 16 years. And I was like, that's not even a question anymore.
Yeah,
I know. So what does that mean? Does Glenn live for 15 years or 15 days?
He's old, right? I don't know.
I picture the guy from
I guess not, actually, yeah.
In the new one, it's Greg Kinnear, so that's who I'm picturing right now.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, what, 47?
Yeah, 50? He should be older than that. In the old, I don't remember Glenn. Who was Glenn in the...
I thought you were like... Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I thought you were being like coy when you were like, I don't know if he comes back or not. I'm like, oh, I know he comes back, but I can't say anything.
I didn't remember. I thought he did, but, it's been a while since I read it. This is what my, I don't even know, fourth time? Fifth time? Stan was always
Yeah,
a good one when you needed something to do for a month and nothing else. Yeah, I'm glad he came. I don't know why. Like Glenn says, like, fuck, now I feel like an asshole. Like, damn, I left him there and he came after me. Yeah, that's, you should feel like an asshole because you left him there.
Yeah, I
And
feel
then
like
they talk about the journey. Like he got there, to like Nebraska right after they left, and he's like, "Fuck!" And now they're in Colorado, so now he had to follow him again. Oh, and by the way, got attacked by wolves when he got to Hemingford home. So thank you very much.
right.
I guess Mother Abigail's God is not a dog lover. Yeah, I felt that. I felt this whole thing. I felt the worst for Kojak than anybody. Like, damn. I was like, "Yeah, fuck you, wolves! Like, take that." And I was, even though I have a very wolf-like doggy over here, that's the cutest thing in the world. We went to McDonald's yesterday. She's never met a window she won't hang out of. So we were pulling up in the drive-thru because they have banana split McFlurry or something like that. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So like everybody at the drive-thru that was working in McDonald's, like 6 people, all had to come up and like say hi to her.
Oh.
They like all melted, and then she's had a good weekend. She had a puppuccino at Starbucks on Friday and a pup cup at McDonald's yesterday. So it's just whipped cream in a cup.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
I'm
So she
kidding.
was okay. Spread the love, man. But within limit. Anyway, so yay Kojak, and they're all like not too. I mean, I don't have too much more to say with Mother Abigail, but like she definitely thinks it's a God thing. I'm not sure what she thinks she did, other than she had to do something to go away. And there's any way in hell, a 108-year-old woman's alive after what's it been like 6 days now? I mean, not without some kind of, white intervention, I guess I would say, for lack of a better word. It seems, but they just kind of go like, oh, well, that's good actually that she's gone. I mean, wait, let's go look for her.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
They don't seem,
Again,
and they even argue about it. It's like they're like, oh, she's out, gone. And like me personally, I think I'd be like, oh, she's dead. There's no point in even going to look for her right now.
well, especially like she left on her own, so it's not like she was kidnapped.
Well, yeah, she could have prepared. I don't know. I don't think we know that I didn't get the feeling she prepared shit. She just walked out the fucking door.
I think it's again, it strikes me as a religious thing, or it's like, go out there and survive,
Right.
as long as you
Like
can, or whatever.
40 days and 40 nights and shit.
Yeah.
I think it was definitely a religious thing. Yeah, but yeah, like they're all like, let's go get her. And I'm like, but nobody made her go. You may even find her, and she'd be like, "Fuck you! Did I tell you to come get me?
Well, it kind of
Get the hell out of here!"
would have been the case. They even said like, "Oh, if she doesn't want to come back, we can't force her, but we just want to know she's okay."
I guess. I don't know. I'd be torn. Is Fran dumb enough not to realize why Harold is so interested in her fucking sneakers?
He didn't realize she left the dirt.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. In reading that, I was like,
right.
"Clean up the dirt, Fran. You have to clean up the dirt." And then she didn't, and I was like, "You dumb bitch. You're going to get caught."
I mean, how do you not realize your sneakers are going to leave a print of some? That'd be the first thing I thought of after fingerprints. Well, I guess fingerprints wouldn't be an issue anymore.
That is true. She definitely should have thought about that. I like how the second time though, Larry was like, "Who cares? What is he gonna do?"
The second time was definitely different with the Larry vibe. You're like, I'm breaking a window. Either we're right or wrong, and just either way, there's no coming back or something.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very Larry thing.
He's like, oh my god, we can't move this, and he's like, I just broke a window. You fucking think that matters?
And I like how he breaks out of the basement. He's like, "It's okay, I can fix it." He's like, "How are you gonna lock it from the other side?"
Yeah, like that's what it was. Yeah. It was like, why are you worried about fixing the lock when I broke the window?
Also, why?
But also, yeah, why? You mean, well, she's got a point. I don't know why he would have never.
No, I know we're not like that was basically the end of what we read, but like, they never mention why. I mean, maybe it'll mention it later when we get to her section, but like, why did Nadine put the diary back there? They never would have found it if she hadn't done that.
Maybe.
Where was it? Wait, as opposed to what?
So Harold saw the footprint, got paranoid, moved it to the attic, I think, and
it was under.
Nadine put it back, and it was like a quick line right before they found it, or it was like Nadine had moved it back to the Hearthstone right before, but they had no idea it had been moved in the first place.
He is
Huh.
just.
I wonder if Harold knew Nadine put it.
I don't think so.
Like she wants them to get caught.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. They
would
have to go
leave?
to Flag. Because right now, they're acting citizens.
But how could she know that they were going to go and look for it?
I don't think it was anything that she recognized she was doing.
Well, as she knew all kind of shit she wasn't supposed to.
Also, did Larry say he saw it there the first time, or he just saw that it was loose?
Oh, saw the stone. They both saw the loose stone, wasn't it? They didn't see it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. How did you know there was a diary under there? But he picked it up because he was going to fix it. That's right. And saw it.
Yeah, and again, why are we writing down our plans for murdering people?
I like how he acknowledges that this time. He's like, I'm the one who found it in the first place. Why would I do this? I'm like, yeah, why?
Who, Harold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's also like his narcissism, because there's even a part where he like wants Nadine to read it because he's like, it's some of my best writing. I'm like, all right, buddy.
Oh, there's definitely a part of. Well, yeah. I mean, so what does his best writing actually mean? They don't.
If your manifesto,
grammatically,
if your manifesto is your best writing, then that's not a good thing.
Right? Most entertaining. What are we doing here with best writing? And okay, yes, but I don't think Nadine cared. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe it was his best writing because he's fucking crazy apparently.
Oh, she definitely doesn't care. That's why I said it's his.
But I'm sure he wanted. I mean, who writes a manifesto and doesn't want anybody to read it?
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, what is that? Simpsons? You've gone mad with power. Well, of course I have. Have you ever gone mad without power? It's no fun. Nobody cares. Yeah, it's like that. He wants people. He's proud of it, and he wants everyone to see it. Well, he wants someone to see it, I guess. Maybe they can all see it when he leaves. They're planning on leaving, right? They haven't gone anywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, I think they were already planning on leaving, and now they're leaving like tomorrow.
Yeah. How does Nadine know that they know?
Well, Flag told her, sort of. Well, yeah, I guess told is an interesting way to put it, but
yeah. So she had like immaculate conception with Flag.
Is that what that was? Oh well, yeah. I guess he was inside her, is what she said.
Said something when he came, something. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
So I think he meant that literal, or not strictly metaphorically. I guess maybe not quite literally is the right word for that.
The whole scene was giving me a cross of, again, like Lasher, but then also like Maturin because of the white and like the just like being in your mind kind of thing.
I like how everything makes you think of Lasher. I'm very proud of that.
Well, you're saying Lasher, and I don't disagree with that, but I also it gave me Harry Potter vibes, kind of like in 7 Part 2, where he starts like speaking in their minds. From that point on, I was just reading.
Oh, that's a good point. I was also picturing part of the scene from the new show. Rereading this book, I'm like, they actually did a pretty decent job with that show.
The new Stan?
Yeah, sorry.
Parts of it. Some of it I don't like. Well, Ralph is now Ray.
Okay, but who cares? You love Ralph?
No, I didn't mean that I was complaining. I was just saying some of the things.
Oh, okay.
And like the show doesn't follow the timeline; it jumps around. So, like Michelle struggled with that a little bit. Like I, obviously knew every inch of every part of that story, so I had no problem following it. But as someone who hasn't read the book, she kind of had a little trouble figuring out what the hell was going on for most of it.
Yeah, I don't think you should do that in an apocalyptic story like this because it's going to be confusing.
You remember, doesn't the show start with like Harold on the body committee, like throwing bodies in a trench? And
I think so.
Yeah. And Tom Skerritt, who I guess is Wyzak, tells him, "Don't be ashamed of throwing up." He had a chance, Hawk. He just didn't take it. Hawk had several chances.
Harold is the worst.
He could have taken him right there. They like he was in. Like they all liked him, respected him. What's the fucking problem? You got an axe to grind, and he doesn't know how to let go of it.
Do anything.
So Nadine is
I have no nice things to say about Nadine.
Favorite person, including the flag.
The flag's fun at least. Right? As a character, I love him.
Well,
Even, you know.
At least he is bad. Like, that's who he is.
Right? And he's been in Midworld, for Christ's sake.
But I agree. That's why I hate Harold and Nadine. Well, never mind. I can't say anything. I hate Harold more, but we have to finish the story.
Yeah, she's even like, oh, I threw myself at Larry, and he said no, so it's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
What, are you fucking kidding me?
Even
and then who said it?
Somebody was like, yeah, you waited until he was in love already, and it was too late anyway.
Right. You made sure you waited until it was too late, so you could say it was his fault. I mean, good for Larry. I wasn't sure that was going to go that way.
Yep.
He had no other choice because Lucy was right fucking there. Like, you better not walk in the back door. Well, I guess he wouldn't have walked in the door if he picked Nadine. But...
Lucy was prepared for him to leave.
And then again, Nadine, even when she's with Harold, we can't do that one little thing. And she's like, oh my God, I almost told him to do it. So do it. What's the big fucking deal? You would like,
well, that
I mean, I know what the big deal is.
She got like a vision or something.
Yeah, she saw Flag standing outside the window and she was about to like let him in and do it or something. Like, oh, he's watching. Like, so let him watch. Asshole.
Yeah, well, I get the feeling that she does have a choice, but that choice is going to be do this or you die.
Well, at this point, it is.
Right,
I'm not
that's
sure
what
it was always.
Like, you're too far in now.
Yeah, she's, well, much like Harold, has had many opportunities to make opposite choices.
And I didn't realize she was in college when she did the Ouija board thing. I was like, come on. But...
Seemed a little late, didn't it?
Yeah.
I thought she was like, you know, a kid. Well, 12, 14, some shit like that.
You mentioned that last time. You're like, maybe that's just the show because that's how they portrayed her.
I don't remember. Was it the show? Is that what I said? I have to watch it.
Because she's like in middle. Sorry, Allie. What? She's like in middle school. In the new version of the Stand in the show, and you said that. I was like, maybe I'm just remembering the show or the book, but I don't know.
In the book, she was in college, right? Well, I guess that's actually better. I would have guessed it was the other way around.
It's like he was kind of like interfering with her life since she was a kid, because I think her running in the field being chased by the boy was when she was in high school.
I was thinking that too. Like, she was having thoughts. Maybe I don't know. Did like using the Ouija board allow him to directly communicate with her or something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like he was already interested or fucking with her before the Ouija board. That wasn't like the thing. That might have been a thing. It might have opened the door wider, but the door was already open.
Yeah. And like, does Flag need a door?
Oh, the walking dude's got to walk through a door, right? I got 3 doors for him.
But she.
Yeah, well, he kind of did actually.
Flag?
Yeah, look at it.
Like, well, yeah, actually, he's
Walker.
Well, do you consider going Todash walking through a door?
Speaking of which, I was so terrified when Tom Cullen was hypnotized and he said, "Don't leave me out here in the dark."
Bleh. I didn't catch.
I said, "Oh my God, where are you? Is it Todash dark? Oh my God, somebody get him the hell out of there."
Yeah, is that like a Manny thing?
Kinda. He's kind of had a Manny feel. Yeah, the whole hypnotism thing.
Yeah.
And why is it a good idea to send Tom Cullen? Because he's too stupid to get in trouble?
Oh my God, what Nick said about him was like, I'm like, I guess it's true, but it feels so cruel. Or he's like, I mean, it's not cruel, but where the thing where he's like, he's so close to having a full deck, but he's missing just a few cards, and you can't even play solitaire with missing a few cards.
And even though they're low cards, like the 2 of spades and the 3 of hearts, you can't even win with solitaire without those cards. But yeah, that was kind of a good. I like that metaphor. But okay. So pick somebody else that doesn't have a full deck. Not, your best friend in the whole world.
They only have the token hint, that slow guy, and the token deaf mute guy.
The flu is not picky about that, huh?
I mean, what I meant was there's probably more, or there definitely would be more. But
Yeah, you
That's
would
not
think.
to say that we should be sending them out to sacrifice. That's not my point either.
Well, at least send someone we don't care about. I mean, how do they spell moon? That's my first question.
Oh, I've been saying that so often lately. I'm just like, MOON, that spells tire.
Okay. Laws.
Oh.
I
I still think Tom is the best option though, because he has the best chance of not being killed because of that, because it's so believable to himself.
Yeah, because he will be 100% in until he's not. He won't be like acting. He will be believing every word he says.
Mm-hmm. And
you could tell that when I had him. Go ahead.
I was just say, because of that, hopefully, I'm not too sure about this, but hopefully Flag will have a harder time picking up on that too.
Seems like a big flaw in their plan, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How is Flag not going to see right through that? I feel like he would. And if he can't, then he's got issues.
Well, I mean, for sure Dana's toast, because her plan is to try to kill him. I'm like, you don't think he can see that coming?
So Dana is the one who, I don't know, what was it, got beat by her husband and was lesbian, is now bisexual, and got kidnapped by the roving gang of assholes that I think repeatedly raped her for a couple of weeks until they got rescued by her intrepid travelers. Right?
Stu going, lesbian?
I know. So, I mean, she may feel like she don't have much to live for at this point. She's been through some shit.
Yeah.
But I guess everybody has. Maybe some people just don't want to, like you said, don't want to live in that world. So, fuck it. It's not necessarily a suicide mission, but if it happens, it happens.
And it sounds like she gets to take out some of her anger on the way down, so why not?
I mean, you could kill some underlings if you want to just take out some anger. You don't have to go right to the top.
Well, that's kind of what I meant. I don't think she's going to kill Flag, but I do think she's going to get to kill other people.
I want to see Dana and Lloyd going at it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, he's not good at the confrontations. Like, he builds these characters up, but he's not good at the pitting them against each other part.
Yeah,
I want to see Roland and fucking Walter going at it, like head to head.
I mean, some of the battle scenes in the Dark Tower were good though, so I was like, I don't understand. Maybe he just feels like it's too hard or something.
Yeah, there are some good ones. I need that Jericho Hill. I don't think I'm gonna get it. He's too busy writing about other shit. Wish he would go back for like he did with Wind Through the Keyhole.
I mean, he's not.
Anyway, we're not talking about the tower. We're talking about the stand, which is tower related.
It's always tower related.
Everything's tower related. Yeah, you don't have to be like one of those Stephen King fans that read everything but The Dark Tower. I just don't want to.
I can't.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I find myself now, anytime there are numbers mentioned, I'm like, does it equal 19?
Oh, I know. They had a meeting scheduled for the 19th, and I was like, 19?
Was it September 19th? Of 1999, possibly? Yeah. I'm always adding them up. I'm like, well, that's 6 and 1 is 7, and that's 12. Everywhere I go.
I did that too. There was something where it was like, they were trying to do some kind of numbers thing, and they were like, and it was like, well, you're wrong anyway, because it's 32, not 33. And I was like, yeah, but 33 minus 19 and plus 1. And I was trying to still make it equal 19.
I like to pick 5. I'm always counting the lottery balls to see what that adds up to.
I was just going to say that I can't hate on people who have that attitude because I was that person. It's so hard. It's like you have to entice them, and then once they're hooked, they're going to get it. But it's so hard to get people hooked. You know what I mean?
Especially when you're starting them with the gunslinger. Like, I know I talked you into this, and I know this sucks right now, but just trust me, keep going.
Right. It's like, you got to trust me and get through it. And you're like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah. I told you I'd try it. This book sucks. I'm out of here.
It's confusing, and I don't understand. Anyway.
It's, I don't know. I just read everything Stephen King. I didn't care about things like Tower or not Tower. If he wrote it, I read it. And that's all I cared about.
I think it's just the task of because it is a series. So it's like you could pick one up. It'd be kind of confusing probably, but you do have to, you want to, if you're a reader, you want to start and finish it. So it's just so daunting when there's 9,000 pages worth of stuff you have to read next. And you're like, how about not right now?
Start with Wolves of the Cala and see if you're confused.
I don't think so. You probably wouldn't be.
Well, you wouldn't know what the hell the Manny were doing.
Yeah, but it would just be like
what the fuck is these mechanical wolves coming out of there?
Oh, Wolves of the Kala. I'm sorry. I was thinking Wizard and Glass. I was like, Wizard and Glass would probably be the best one to pick up on its own.
Oh, that would be you could easily that is a book in a book, so you could easily read that. Wolves is a little more involved. I don't want to be mean, but I saw someone that could have passed for a root the other day. Like, damn.
That could have.
Like, I saw one in person.
What did you say?
Could have been.
Oh.
Very large and very dim, I guess is the way to put it.
I kind of understood what you meant when you said rude.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess I don't need to explain. Either you know or you don't. And if you don't, you're probably not listening. We got a new follower this week. Yeah, I think we're up to like 130. Yeah. I guess. I think we need. What do they say? 10,000 something or 1 million something. I forget what it was.
Oh yeah.
It was like 1 million views or 10,000 likes or something like that to monetize. And it might be 100,000. 10,000 seems low to me. No, we have 100. That's what it was. We have 130. We need 10,000 followers, I think, and we can monetize. But we need a lot more people to give a shit about it. I don't know if we're gonna make it to 10,000. Maybe not in my lifetime. Not at this rate. We're like,
well, the problem is that podcasts are so oversaturated to begin with, and especially a podcast like ours where it's not. You can't really just put it on if you don't know the story because you're not going to be interested in what we're talking about.
But I think it's great background noise if you do know the story.
Of course, but how many... I mean, there's just not a lot of people that do know the story as opposed to people that listen to podcasts daily where you can just throw on anything and you don't have to know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have a very high listen to the whole episode rate. I'll put it that way.
It's first of all, it's a very common. It's very common in general, because like a lot of the podcasts that I listen to, I love when they're longer because that's why I like to have them on, so I can just not have to think about what I'm gonna watch next. But a lot of the like famous ones, like on Apple Podcasts, they're like half an hour. I'm like, what? So like, I think people just prefer, short. Oh my god, people prefer short form content. I cannot say that.
Yeah, I think it's cultural today.
Well, yeah, I mean TikTok is for sure to blame for that.
Yeah, I mean, I look at a half hour. Like if I'm like putting something on, I guess if it's a sitcom, but I'm not watching one. I'm watching 4 or 5 if I'm doing that. But if it's a half hour, I'm like, nope. It's like because I feel like I'm barely gonna start getting into it, and it'll be over. Like fuck that. I'm picking something else. That's like documentaries when I go to sleep at night. I can't do the half hour. Yeah. I may still be awake.
Exactly.
Right, and then another one will come on, but then I gotta get all invested in that one. Anyway, where the hell were we? I'm looking at Harold, not making good choices. Harold was wool gathering. For the record, I've never seen anybody wool gather outside of a Stephen King story.
Somebody else was wearing a chambray shirt.
Oh, it was it?
Not say blue.
Was it blue?
I don't know. Yeah, it didn't say blue. Yeah. I think it was Dana, wasn't it?
This was before he discovered the blue one. They're up there.
We do need to make a list, like all the things that I've only heard of in Stephen King stories. Blue chambray work shirts, wool gathering. What's the sterno?
Yup. Yeah, sterno. The flame in a can. I mean, I've heard of sterno. I've never actually seen
it. They've used it on like buffet lines.
Yeah. That's the thing that heats the tubs.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never really even thought about what makes the food stay hot. I just was like, maybe it just stays hot because that's the way it is.
It's magic.
It's buffet magic.
It's hot food. They made it that way.
Or maybe I was like, oh, well, the lights are hot, so it's keeping it warm.
Yeah, they do have things called heat lamps. You'll know because it'll be dry.